Hello everyone, and welcome to Yoshi 1 Kenobi's Izzet Spell combo deck. In this deck, we try to one-shot our opponent for 20 points of damage starting from turn 4. How do we do that? Well, there's two key cards in the deck, namely Umara Mystic and Stormwing Entity. Once we have one of these two cards in play, we can use the power of Unleash Fury, and if we stack two of those, and place our triggers right, then we can pump up our Umara Mystic or Stormwing Entity to 20 points of power. Well, how do we do that? We cast Unleash Fury since it's an instant, which will trigger Umara Mystic or trigger Prowess. It works the same way for both. We let the trigger resolve, and then before Unleash Fury resolves, we cast a second copy of Unleash Fury, which is going to trigger Umara Mystic and Stormwing Entity the second time, bringing them to 5 power. And then both effects of doubling are going to come into play, bringing the power from 5 to 10, from 10 to 20, and our opponent down from 20 to 0 in one sweeped attack in the air on turn 4. Now in terms of redundancy, because getting 2 copies of Unleash Fury can be fairly difficult, we're also playing Sea Gate Stormcaller, because that card hasn't been wreaking havoc on turn 4 in other formats like Historic. So it can do the same thing here. If you have a Sea Gate Stormcaller and Unleash Fury, it's going to work with Umara Mystic, but because Sea Gate Stormcaller is a wizard, so the Stormcaller will trigger the Mystic, the Unleash Fury will trigger the Mystic, and you get 20 once again. It's not going to work quite as well with the Stormwing Entity, because the Sea Gate Stormcaller and the copy of the spell don't trigger the Prowess, but you'll still be hitting for 16, which, I mean, it's reasonable. Similarly, we can simply give our creature double strike, double the power, to the same effect. So that's what we're playing. We're playing Unleashed Fury, Raking Claws, Sea Gate Stormcaller to double and double again the powers of Umara Mystic and Stormwing Entity to sweep our opponent in the air. In terms of other support cards, we're playing Opt, Crash Through, and Shock as 1-mana spells in order to cast Stormwing Entity on turn 3. We're playing Riddleform because it's another sneaky attacker, and 3 flying power for 2 mana is very good. Then, well, that's pretty much all we're playing. We're playing Bonecrusher Giant because it's a spell, it's a creature, it's the best of both worlds, and the rest is just lands. Now let's see how well this deck does in action. We are playing Izzet Spells and Zendikar Rising Standard against Lord GT. Let's see what we get. Pair of lands, pair of Unleashed Fury, and an Umara Mystic. We are good to go. And we go first, which is ideal. Let's start with the Shatterskull Smashing that. Passing the turn back. Opponent's playing red deck wins, potentially. Let's just pass the turn back. Or maybe it's ooh, it's red deck wins. That's ideal. I think we have it. Unless their opponent is going to keep 2 spells to kill our Umara Mystic, you're going to see a ton of damage. Don't kill it. Please don't kill the Mystic. I guess you need a double shock, because I'm not blocking. And that's game. As easy as that. Also gotta hold full control mode. Unleashed Fury, targeting Umara Mystic. Let the trigger resolve. Cash Unleashed Fury. Let the trigger resolve. Remove full control. Resolve all. Swing for 20. And that's how it's done. Umara Mystic swings for 20 and crushes red deck wins. We are playing Izzet Spells in Zendikar Rising Standard against Adrian Karma. We have some pretty good stuff, so we're gonna keep. And we go first. You can see Lura's base deck. which means rogues or white weenies. Probably rogues. White weenies tends to main deck their Luris. We'll see. We do have 2 Umara Mystics. We have an op, so we're pretty sure to find our lands. Well, let's see what that Fable Passage fetches. Swamp? Yes. Rogues it is. Yeah, I'll keep the Temple. Temple will scry. It's a little bit too many Mystics, but sure, why not? If we're gonna go all in, we're gonna go all in. We just need to wait for our opponent to tap out. Then we'll go Mystic, counter, Mystic, kill, Mystic, unanswered into the kill. At the very least, that's game plan. And these things are both instants, so we can do it post blocks. Mill us for 2. I don't think there's any trick that our opponent can make. Would be a non-typical trick. The opponent has something. And 2 for 1. Play another Mystic. Oops. Should have played it first. Thieves Guild Enforcer mills us for 2. Ooh, that's good. That's good. That's good. Greedy opponent. The preemptive, good game. And then we go double strike. Trigger. Double the attack power. Trigger. 10 powers of flying double strike is gonna get ya. Take that, rogues. Take that. We're playing Izzet Spells in Zendikar Rising Standard against Goatums. It's probably some kind of medicine for goats that have digestive issues. In the meantime, we have the combo. So you have Umara Mystic, Sea Gate Stormcaller, Unleashed Fury. The only thing we're missing are the lands for it. But we do have a pair of islands, so we will keep this. Also, we have a Riddleform. All we need is a mountain. You gotta make it over the mountain. And I gotta stop singing. Ooh, that's beautiful. We hit the mountain. We have the Riddleform. Our opponent's playing some kill spells that could deal with an Umara Mystic. Which is a bit annoying, gotta say. Alright. There are just too many chances that our opponent has a kill spell up. I don't want to risk the Umara Mystic. So we'll trigger the Riddleform. Draw a card. Ragdolls doesn't really play flyers. Alright, we get a shock out of it. And we'll pass the turn back. Opponent plays Timmy. And Timmy calls the dead. Now have the mana for it. Let's play the Umara Mystic. Come on, opponent. You don't want to kill the Umara Mystic. You want to play like Croxa and stuff. Fabled Passage. Fetching some black. I really wish our opponent had a Croxa and would cast a Croxa. That way our opponent would be tap out and wouldn't be tempted to kill our Umara Mystic. Opponent has hovered over it twice, which makes me think that our opponent has something. Potentially a Bonecrusher Giant. Hence the attack with the zombie. Croxa. Alright. Well, let's get rid of our shock. We don't really need shock. Alright, well, we're going for it. Sea Gate Stormcaller. It's a wizard. Trigger Umara Mystic. Uh-oh, opponent has a way to do something about the Umara Mystic. My guess is that it's a Bonecrusher Giant, so I'm going all in. Going all in. Next spell we cast, we'll get a copy. Yeah, it's a Bonecrusher Giant. Unleash Fury! Umara Mystic resolves. It's a 5/5. Oh, I'm disappointed. I wasn't expecting shredded sails. Oh. Guess I'll double the power of Sea Gate Stormcaller. That's what you get for playing all-in combos. Sometimes the opponent has the kill spell. Probably should have just waited for the opponent to tap out. No, I guess Croxa kind of kills me. Opponent plays Croxa. We have to toss our Crash through. And we're in a very tough spot. Not gonna lie. Very tempted to resign here. Can unleash Fury on the Stormcaller to cast the Stormwing Entity. There you go, 12 power Croxa. Stormwing Entity, scry 2. Yeah, that'll be it. Concede. We had the combo. Our opponent just had the perfect removal spell. We are playing Izzet Spells in Zendikar Rising Standard against Seta. Yeah, that's pretty good. Let's keep this. 2 lands, one of which is Scryland and Opt. Ooh, that's tempting. I'll pass on it. As tempting as it is. We get Duressed. Well, that's yucky. Oh no, our opponent gets to Duress our land. And our opponent knows what we're up to, so we're in trouble. I really wish I still had that Opt. Well, there goes one Unleashed Fury. Bonecrusher Giant, not gonna cut it. Opponent was nice enough not to duress our land, so I'll give him that. Solemn Simulacrum. You may have your card. Alright, well that's a land. So we will Bonecrusher Giant, because their opponent is packing way too much removal for my taste. In mono black. So it duresses, it's a control shell. Well, it really looks like a control shell. Alright, things are starting to look up. I think I want to shock this. Attack with Bonecrusher. Let this act. Ping you for 2. Ah, well. Oh yeah, I still need to play the land first. Umara Mystic, pass. If we draw an untapped red source and our opponent doesn't kill the Umara Mystic, we have lethal. Ping for 2, ping for 2, double trigger, trigger again, that's 14 plus the 4 damage we've dealt. Labyrinth of Scophos, of course, is going to completely kibosh that. That's what this does. Let's opt. It all begins with an opt. Nope, not a temple. Bonecrusher? Something. Yeah, we'll hit you for 3. Cast Bonecrusher. Labyrinth of Scophos. One has Zugan mana, which is quite scary. As long as the opponent keeps the mana up for Labyrinth, we are in deep trouble. Although now we have 4 points of burn in hand. As well as the Unleashed Fury on the Bonecrusher. Oh, okay. That's what you're playing. You're trying to combo kill the combo kill. Sure, I'll take one. Paying you for 2. Hit you with both. Scophos the Mystic. Then I will double the power of my Bonecrusher Giant. It's not exactly what I'm planning on doing, but whatever gets the job done. Cling to dust. Opponent's gonna live. And I'm gonna lose. You're down to 3. I have the shock, but that only gets you down to 1. And you have Underworld Dreams on the battlefield. You're really clinging to dust. But apparently, the dust is just enough to get you right back into this game. Although I'd have to read that card, Peer into the Abyss. Because I think you have to pay half your life rounded up. So maybe the shock gets there. I'm going to have to read back Peer into the Abyss. Sorry, Umara Mystic now has 3 power. Can't touch this. Can't target the Bonecrusher Giant, which puts you in a bit of a pickle. And that is good enough for game. Whew! I thought we were going to get peered into the abyss right there. But we got through. In a moderately fair way. We are playing Izzet Spells and Zendikar Rising Standard against Gracio. We have an interesting hand that we will keep against potentially rogues. Have a little bit too much Unleashed Fury and not enough targets. But we take what we get. We have a lot of good draws. That is one of the okay draws. We need an untapped land now. Actually, we need a pair of untapped lands, one after the other. Opponent plays the Crab of Doom. That's good. We needed lands. We would have drowned on those non-land permanents. Alright, well. Form of the Riddle. Activate the Riddle. Swing for 3 and pass the turn. Still looking for lands. No, we wanted that island. No. As they like to say. Or we like to say. Everyone likes to say no. Alright, well, we have a couple of options here. We can cycle the Raking Claws, or we can Unleash Fury the Ruined Crab. I must say I do like the Unleashed Fury on the Ruined Crab, although we have 6 cards in the yard. Let's just shock the Wind Robber. Can't sack it yet. What is considering countering it? Will you? Will you not? We will find out. And, well, fairly soon, because our opponent has a timer. Activate the Sphinxes. Swing with the Sphinxes into the kill spell. Drown in the lock, most likely. Because the opponent thought about countering the shock for too long. Well, that's 3 to the face. We're still short on mana, which is our primary problem. Secondary problem being the crab slowly chipping away at our library with his scary looking pincers. Also, if we start drawing lands, I get a feeling we're not going to stop. Opponent fetched Lurrus. Well, let's go Umara Mystic. Because Mystic is boss. It's gonna get killed, but it's pretty cool. One could also Lurrus into Wind Robber. Just a bit of a pain. It's looking like a kill spell on the Mystic. I don't know. Opponent's going Lurrus, Wind Robber. We'll hold down the fort. Milling me for 3. Another Raking Claws. Alright, well. What are our options here? Can cycle the Raking Claws, hope for land. Or we can activate the Raking Claws on the Mystic, swing with the Riddleform and the Mystic. Opponent's just going to keep on cycling the Wind Robber every turn. So we need a bit more. Let's cycle that. Ugh. Not exactly sure why I'm attacking here. I guess because for that. Don't see why the opponent didn't block. And if for some reason our opponent decides to tap out and we draw an untapped land, we do have the kill. That is fine, you lure us up to 16. Sack the Wind Robber, cast the Wind Robber, hold back into the story? Guess that's the play. Now that's interesting. Because the trample with the Unleashed Fury is fairly good. Well, let's go crash through. Mostly because I would like to play the Stormwing Entity. Well, let's go to combat first. See how our opponent blocks. Drowning the Riddleform. You can pressure quite a bit with the Mystic if you want. I'd rather not lose the Mystic. Do we want to Unleash Fury or not? Gets our opponent down to 6, but doesn't quite cross the finish line. So I think we'll just hit for 3. The Stormwing Entity. Scrying is meaningless, so I have to send stuff to the bottom. Doesn't matter. Opponent has too much mill. As much as I like Crash 2. Would be the perfect next draw, actually. It's tempting to keep a bad card on top of the deck, just to have it milled. But if our opponent doesn't mill us, then we look stupid. So I'll just cry everything to the bottom. And let the heart of the cards decide what we're going to draw next turn. We're going to get the next copy of Crash through. Actually, we have only one copy left. And we need the land on top of it. So hit the land. Opponent has 2 flyers, so we're not getting through. So let's play Stormwing Entity. Scry 2. Scry him to the bottom. Then pass the turn back. Now we have 2 flying lethal attackers. If they can survive and not be blocked. Which I know I'm asking for a lot, considering our opponent has 3 flyers. And we do need to make it out of the turn alive. Opponent is pondering. Thinking. Biding their time. Killing our Stormwing Entity. That's 8, 11. 11 points of damage. You got it, my friend. Crusher? Let's go for the taunt. Say that it's a good game, and then we're just swinging and our opponent will not block. If our opponent doesn't block because he thinks that we're suicidal, you might have a chance. Opponent has something. Opponent can sack the Wind Robber. Double the power. You either have a trick or you're really wishing you had blocked. Ah. Yeah. Oh. We almost got there. We had a glimmer of hope. And then our opponent swung for lethal. And that was the next crash through. All that wouldn't matter. Almost baited our opponent in. Well, we baited our opponent to not blocking, but they had a mystical dispute. Was close, but not quite. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe. It won't cost you any mana, and it greatly helps to support this channel and keep the awesome videos coming. Until next time, may the fun be with you.